All right, I guess I can turn it on so that... Wow.
Let's.
Peanut Gallery already going hard here. You know, I didn't even have the button pressed where they could hear you, but I pressed it now. So deal with it.
Oh,
We have a
Oh.
decisive game three here between the Salty Sponge and Blueseangfh2. On commentary for you this evening are Gingersonny, melqwii, and our own semi-finalist Natheirean. Take it away.
thanks,
Hey.
Dastar.
Yeah, thank you to Star. Good evening, everybody. Hello, Mel. Hello, Neff. How's it going?
It's going great. It's gonna be a great series so far, and looking forward to game 3 here.
Yeah, same. I'm excited. Got to catch both of the first and second matches, so I am really interested to see what these runners end up doing, if they kind of shake up their meta a little or not. Um, yeah, game three.
It's pretty exciting. Yeah, I didn't catch up on the first two, so I don't know exactly what happened to them because I was too busy doing university exams. But they're done now, so I can actually in time for the business end of this tournament, which is exciting.
Well, let me catch you up. Each of them won one of the first two matches. Oh, come on. Really?
All right, I chuckled on that one.
I gave it a slight guffaw, perhaps. More like a guff.
Ginger's like, I come back and I am attacked like this.
It's like, yeah. I can see things haven't changed since I was away.
Of course not. Of course not.
Never
All
will.
right. So
We're
we're
getting Minuet start. That's probably actually my favorite song to start with in Blitz so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Minuet's always my favorite start because it gives you movement as adult and child. 2 free songs. And a stone. Which, you know, the rewards don't mean a whole lot
No,
in
not
Blitz.
usually. Unless.
Unless. ZL on Oot, anyone?
And we're off.
Oh. Yeah, that is a timer. That is. Ooh, Jabu is our forest medallion.
Oh, 10, 1,
And
and
1.
1.
Oh. Okay.
Go and see. Interesting.
Warren City being the 1 is interesting. That probably means that we have quite a few Wanderer. Because a lot of things are bomb locked there.
Mm-hmm. Ice path to power. Okay.
Lushan taking my favorite starting of the game. Although with Minuet start, I actually tend to prefer going up down Minuet first and then killing a kid for money instead. It's a bit faster.
Lost Woods Wanderer, too, so.
Ooh.
Yeah, Sean's farming money. Deku path to power. Alright, so that gives us one of the items that's going to be another step on there. Kokiri sword. We don't know where it's going to be, but we know it's on the list.
Moving on to a Wanderer bow. That's interesting.
Alright, Mido, what you got? Magic.
Hmm.
And a strength.
Ooh, okay, strength. Honestly, a strength is really nice to be going into adult CAC with because, you know what? Go up the mountain, go into DC, especially... We don't have choose yet, you can't necessarily finish it, but you can get a lot of the way.
I don't think we'll see a 1 inside DC today just because of Goron City being Path of Courage, but I've seen weirder things.
Yeah?
I can see it.
What's the funniest one path location? I mean, anytime you end up in Spirit, and you're like,
Yeah,
great.
Spirit, Shadow Trial 2,
Crater path to power. How many of these are going to be songs? Dastar, I know that usually we do a more serious prediction, but I really want how many of these paths are 4 songs? Ice, Crater.
Well, speaking of songs, there's ZL. So,
Oh.
that's
Rip
a
the
shame.
Dream.
Yep.
Does mean we are a bottle away from rushing ice for that ice bath, which is gonna be nice.
Mm-hmm. So usually when you start seeing things like 10, you're thinking like Shadow or Light Trial, right?
I mean,
Usually I'd say so. You can have some weirder ones, but usually once you get to like the 8 to 10 path or higher, it's usually some dungeon that has a lot of requirements.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of these requirements we're even going to be able to skip, because with Ice Path to Power, that means we know, for example, that Rudo's letter is on the path. We don't necessarily need to go find Rudo's. But,
it's kind of handy to know how many steps to get to Ruto's, but we don't actually necessarily need to find it ourselves.
And a lot of those things you can even fill in as you find items. So it's like, okay, I have found a hammer in one location and Rudo's was here. You know, you can start piecing together, okay, these are what I can skip.
And we are going to get Composer's Grave Song too.
Doritos? What? Doritos?
Dorito's letter. I mean, is Dorito like a Grammy Award-winning artist?
Yeah. Jason Derulo? What?
Yeah, well, what has his letter got to do with anything?
It looks like our Composer song is just Prelude, but Prelude is nice for when we go Child. Having a quick way back to go back Adult after you go Child is always helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have vanilla spawns in these settings, so like Child's no closer to anything else, so you're hoping for a Serenade or Prelude early. Warp songs are your best friend when you have a 2-hour time limit.
The worst feeling is when you have to like save warp back to Link's house and then walk all the way back to Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not fun. When you're like, oh, that's 10% of my, or almost of my, an entire 1%, I should say, of my time just walking back to the castle every time.
Yeah.
Damn race time. See what we get. See if he's going to get bodied. Everyone gets bodied, so I'll be amazed if Blueshawn doesn't. We'll see.
I always get so outraged when I see someone Dampe throws like 2 fireballs at them. And then I do it and it's like 20.
It's like he's got a machine gun.
Yeah.
There has to be some kind of RNG manipulation to like how he decides when he throws fire, because it just seems random.
So
I kind of wonder how that actually works.
It's a 1/3 chance every 3 seconds, I think is what it is.
Okay, that sounds about right.
So
Well, yeah, Sean doing pretty much perfectly, apart from the one that he could have nothing to do.
50 is not bad for getting hit by fire once.
Which was on the corner.
Yep.
Couldn't do anything. 50 seconds, very good. Take that.
yeah, Sponge took a fireball to the face and is a little behind that pace, so I think Blueshawn's gonna end up taking the Dampe race.
Yeah, I think Sponge is looking at about a 52-ish here.
Alright, what's on 20? Nothing.
Piece of heart.
Alright, so 10 maybe, but definitely no more.
It looks like we'll probably be seeing River here, which I do love in Triforce Blitz.
Yeah. It's some quick checks. It's good info. I just worry the info that Sponge already has Like, he is going to be able to go straight up the mountain, use that strength, and start on Goron City. We don't know, obviously, where it is in Goron City and whether or not the strength is going to be the key there.
Yeah. Currently, the strength only lets us do Link the Goron in Goron City, and
But it gets us
that's
into
not even in
Crater.
logic at the point.
But it also gets us into Crater to peak some of those items.
Oh yeah.
And knowing that both of those locations are path.
Just my hunch, I feel like we're gonna find Kakiri's sword inside Goron City, and that's gonna lead to our one step for courage.
Ooh.
Bombs just don't make sense to me. And not many other one steps really fit in, unless there's a lot of wanderers for the one step as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sponge saving there.
I think they're just checking a couple. They might be checking top of DC and then going child.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going all the way up.
Usually this is... Oh, did that say...
Minuet to Rudos.
Minuet to
Okay.
Rudos, yeah.
I
So
only
that's
saw
good,
the
that's
M.
information.
I was like, was that Mirror Shield or Minuet?
Minuet gave us
yeah.
Eponas, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
GTG.
Could be GGG, it could be 4S Axis. We haven't seen Saria's song yet.
Hey,
That's
a
true.
hammer.
Ooh, that's very good.
That
I
is-
would be very tempted to go back now and go up to Goron City with that hammer.
Mm-hmm.
I think I definitely would, yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
Like, they can
Blueshan...
play Minuet and get the whole step over there and then head right back into Goron City with that hammer.
Oh, there's the second Minuet.
Yeah.
To Rio's hint. Thanks, River.
So that
And
hammer
very-
is out of logic. Just keep track of that a little. Horse.
It's a very clean strength setup for Link the Goron 2. Doing that with strength is not very easy.
I'm sorry, I'll be back in 1 second. My dog has decided she needs attention.
Good doggo. Always.
Exactly.
Alright, so...
The hammer's gonna be good for Lost of Woods here too, for the Bombable Grottos.
Yeah,
So we do have a Lost Woods Wanderer.
really opens a lot of things up, especially for that Lost Woods Wanderer. Can give a bit of an advantage. I always love to get a hammer. Especially a nice early hammer actually kind of makes it useful. By the time you get it late on, it's like 1 or 2 checks. But if you get it early,
Yeah, Sponge not doing River in Adult 1 is gonna have him miss that hammer, and that could be pretty big. Depending where bombs are.
Alright, I'm back. She was just napping all day until she hears me doing something that doesn't involve her.
I mean, I need attention now.
Yep. Ma!
There's
Hey,
Serenade.
Serenade.
Alright, well, we'll be zipping about Hyrule pretty quick. That's good. Not that we hope to end up in Lake too often, but that's fair.
Hook shot. Okay, we had that. Alright, so to get that hammer, we either need hover boots, bombs, or a scale.
Or bombs.
I was not going to say anything and go.
Oh, did you say bombs? I must have.
I did,
must
yeah.
have completely blanked on it. Oh, Fortress Foolish.
Fortress
Okay.
Foolish. Okay, that's one opponent's out.
Hey,
There's a bomb.
There's
speaking of
bombs.
bombs. That's not our bomb bag.
Nope. But it is very much bomb locked.
That is going to let us basically full clear everything in Goron City that we care about for Courage.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be Darunia for the Courage step. It's just too much. But everything else is now available. If it's not here in the maze, I'd probably expect it to be on Hot Water.
Yeah. Bastard. Oh,
Rainbow
okay.
path
Hammer
to
paths of
power.
power.
Ooh, so I wonder if that DMC path is for a
See,
fairy fountain then.
now we're gonna end up finding. Oh, a strength. All right, and
And
a
a
hook
hook
shot.
Okay.
Trail foolish. Nice. Yes, if you got him, get your silver gauntlets in chat. So our strengths definitely either, Wanderer or if they both end up being hinted. So far, that is not the case.
We had a Lost Woods Wanderer, so it's either for that bomb bag or it's for that strength. Probably the strength because it's an earlier sphere, but I've seen weirder.
Yeah. Strength 2 was on the Lost Woods scrub near the bridge. Oh no. That's the worst. Okay, that's not entirely true. There is one thing worse than that, and that is waking up on like Wednesday or Thursday thinking it's Friday.
Mark.
Way too many.
I actually really like these foolishes so far. But they have all been overworld.
Yeah, the fact that we have no dungeon foolishes when they're prioritized means that basically every dungeon is going to have something.
Yeah. Whether or not
Now-
it's something required, very different story.
Yeah, I've had a bottom of the well that was not hinted foolish, and I couldn't figure out why. And then I checked it afterward, and it's because there was a claim check that led to nothing on Vigoron.
And a wallet. We like wallets. Wallet fills for S3, maybe.
Oh, this would be the path for DMC, like Ruta's maybe here. Oh, scale.
So we have, speaking of our hovers, bombs, or scale or bombs, scale and bomb bag have been hammer locked so far, which is in turn locked by one of those items.
Did Blueseangfh2 check this song on Bolero? Don't think I saw that.
No, not yet. It's possible Blueseangfh2 plans to go into fire for a few checks.
Graveyard.
Graveyard? Okay.
Have we seen anything Graveyard? I think it was all empty because we had Prelude there. So I'm guessing something on Dampe.
Dampe, Sunsong.
What if it's Sunsong here for Sun's Grave?
Oh my god.
I mean,
yes.
we would know its path because
that
it's the only
could
thing
be
left.
bad.
That could be, yeah.
It could be two pieces and
yeah, the song is it.
In 2 hours.
It could be the scale, but
I don't believe it. Storms.
Storms way
that
more
feels
likely.
path.
That feels way more path than a scale.
Yeah, that definitely feels like the path.
10 pack of chews in Ranch. Sunsong unlocks Rudo. Oh, in the last race. Yeah.
It's nice for sponges, actually. Yeah, actually got something you can use to start checking some grows.
Yeah, gonna get a bomb bag with these shoes.
We have that hookshot in Goron City, which feels path, but part of me almost wants to doubt it because we don't have Saria Song. So I'm trying to figure out where that hookshot would lead to. Maybe IGC with like multiple dungeons beatable, but
yeah. Well, currently it's our way to get storms. We did have hookshot unlocks bow. Wanderer bow. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, the bow is wander. The hookshot doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
mean, for all we know, the hookshot could just be path for like Pierre and Fire Temple.
Mm-hmm.
If I was Blueshawn, I would not be checking that at this point, but it wouldn't be the craziest thing if you thought you had a read on the seed.
Yeah, no. I mean, if Sean had a couple more hearts, we might even see him just go ahead and beat Fire for Ganon's access.
Ooh,
But
they're checking
Yeah.
if it's hammer locked. I like this, actually.
Yeah, you're here. You've got a hammer as well. I don't.
Well, so
hate
they
it.
skip the hammer checks. I think what they're doing is they want to see if like how much a Fire Temple is hammer locked.
mhm.
Because if it's hammer locked, then it can't. Then the one step can't be on Pierre. That's a key.
It's a key.
Yeah, they're on 4 hearts. It's not the like safest Fire Temple climb, but 4 hearts is doable. We're seeing Chow Goron sitting on Sponge's side, so we're gonna see if that hookshot is the only thing path. So Fire is hammer locked as well. So one step is not in Fire.
Mhm.
And with that Storms being path probably in DMC, I kind of wonder like if hammer is actually path or not.
Yeah, it could be that frogs in river actually have something. Thing in pot.
So it is the hookshot then.
Yeah, this is an interesting choice by Sean. I mean, I assume he's gonna just beat Phantom Ganon, do the basement and Stalfos. But Sean doesn't have a bow or a Song of Time at this point, so that's all that's available are those 4 checks.
They do have a string, so they actually could do recoil into the courtyard if they find enough keys, which
If
they have one already.
If they find a key, which they got one. That's true.
And they're getting skulls too, so if their goal is to check 10 skulls, it's actually a really good spot for skulls and for a good density. And so we have Minuet, and also Hookshot unlocking a Wanderer bow. There could just be a bow here in Forest.
Yeah. So I'm inclined to say that Hammer... Well, no, because we have Strength too. So they're like Wanderer ways to get that hookshot.
Yeah, I'm feeling that Hammer is bait. It's not actually path. I think it's going to be on frogs.
Yeah, Ventnor bringing up a good point. We know that Minuet locks Saria's probably on Burning Cack, or there's something in Forest that we need to get it. Because those unlock hints, anything that's hinted will be required.
Yeah, Minuet only gave us opponents though, so I could see Minuet not locking with Saria's and having Forest still be a 1-step. Unless I missed the Burning Cack somewhere, but I don't think I saw Burning Cack yet. They're pushing the block all the way, which kind of, to me, assumes that if they find a Wanderer bow in the courtyard, that they're going to clear all of Forest, which is the play.
That's a choice this early.
Yeah, right.
Especially, like, as Psyduck is saying, the hookshot is a path item. Minuet is path. Forest is not a 1-step.
Oh, right, we have Minuet as on an unlock, so it is path.
Yep.
I completely missed that. So, yeah, this is not going to have our 1-step. They have to be looking for bow, so they might just go up to bow chest, which I do not like. But
Kokirisard unlocks hover boots.
Shadow Temple, anyone?
Yay.
I can't wait for it to be like all of this is for hover boots for a 10-step piece on Volvagia, and you can just get it like immediately.
I mean, with a hammer path, that could be. We didn't
That would
see
be pretty
how, like, we don't know when we're key locked in fire, if at all, but
Be super funny.
I mean, it could also even be hovers for Vanilla Crossing because Requiem is vanilla. At least we don't have a hovers block forest. We at least know that for sure. That's always the weirdest one that will catch people off guard.
Yep. All right, Sponge and River going to end up getting Hammer here. So Sean is in here because Minuet leads to Ruto's letter, which is an interesting choice, honestly. Because yes, it is a bottle, but like, think about it. This is a step that you know you can skip because letter's required for Ice Cavern.
Mm-hmm.
It's also hard
because
because, I mean, it's nice when you have the extra bottle to do in just case he skip, but sometimes you just don't find that bottle, and you just have to get Rutos.
Yeah, and that's like clearly what's going on here. Sean's like, I know I need a bottle. Follow this.
So far, Forces has had nothing, which it has to have something in it just because of it not being hinted foolish, but that something could be as little as a slingshot.
Yeah, and I mean, there is potential that it's just for Epona, not for Fortress, but not for Fortress, but for GTG.
Yeah, I do like killing Phantom Ganon though. It gives you IGC, which I think is a good chance of being our one step if it's hookshot locked.
And 2 more hints.
And the 2 hints by Deku Tree.
Yeah.
Because we don't know when we're getting K-Sword at this point. We know like Zio locks it somehow, but that could be Ice Cavern, and we don't know when we're getting to Ice Cavern.
Nice spin strat there.
I haven't seen that done with like quick spins on like the recoil. I might try that. I guess it does require magic, which isn't always something you have for Phantom Ganon, but
Yeah, the bomb bag we have is hammer locked. So nothing is actually in logic yet. The hook shot is though, because we do have 2 strengths. Yes, Volvagia does require a tunic.
Ruto Valley foolish.
Rip Valley Lakers.
A little sad, but it happens. It's quite often foolish here in the setting. Even being a Valley Laker myself, I don't do Valley very often in Triforce Blitz.
With early opponents and early hammer, it had to be. Just because that's how way seeds work.
Right. And that is another overworld foolish hint.
Yeah, I'd like to see someone do Frogs 1. I feel like the hammer is not path. Unless that scale is needed for something. Like, we haven't seen Lake yet.
Yeah, even though Valley is hinted foolish, that does not mean Lake is. Yes, Dastar. Valley and Fortress.
We are going to see IGC here, so we'll see if that one-step hookshot is for this or for something else. I feel like it has to be here, with Minuet locking Eponas. Unless our other hookshot was available, and they're both path for long shot on power. I feel like it has to be here on Spirit Trial.
Letter? Are you talking about letter?
Oh, for Courage, for the Courage path, because we have hookshot.
Oh.
I don't feel like it'd be here. It'd be hookshot locked.
Well, currently Ganon's access is hookshot locked.
Just a slingshot there. That's disappointing.
We do have Hammer and Bomb Bag. We don't know. They're not in Logic yet because we don't have a way into River to get it logically, but we're like one item from that. Oh,
There it is.
there's Courage.
There's Courage.
Okay, so the hookshot does lock all our ways of getting to Ganon's then.
Yep. And Wisdom can be here too.
Yep.
Just to be clear. Hey!
I'm going to take the Bobo instead.
So that's an interesting place for a bow, because we know that bow is Wanderer, but we also have Song of Time, which is another way to get that chest. So the hookshot is still access to Ganon's, though. Doesn't discredit that.
We also haven't seen a Wisdom path yet, so it could be that they're in the same area from both hookshot,
Right.
or we just might not have found the hint.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking. Like, it would make a lot of sense for Wisdom to also be in Ganon's.
Like right here, maybe.
Like right here?
Oh, there it is.
All right, so Rush Volvagia.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Yeah, that's going to be rough for Sponge, who is definitely going to find both of those pieces, probably not in too long of a time. But it does mean Sponge is going to have to find power first, and Sean has the advantage currently.
Yeah.
Looks behind though. Sean has not been child yet at all this seed, so they do have a whole child leap ahead of them. So I don't think they're actually that far behind overall.
Yeah. But yeah, Sponge is on the clock, as Deity Simon is saying.
Sponge must find all three.
Yeah, I would agree, Psyduck. I think we'll definitely see one of them finish here, if not both, depending on how exciting of a race we end up with. They will have to go child eventually. Hovers are required in theory. Which is...
I'm still thinking that River Path is for frogs, not the hammer. I might be wrong. That's just my hunch on it, but
yeah,
that Storm's Path and DMC feels more likely than the hammer than the scale.
Yeah, I would agree. Especially since it's just kind of tricky now that we have seen both a bomb bag and a scale locked behind hammer. That's very interesting.
But in that case, that hammer is actually not reachable. That hammer is locking two ways to actually get hammer.
Exactly. That's why it's interesting.
Yeah, we might just find hovers somewhere.
Path. Hover should be in Deku Tree or behind whatever we find in Deku Tree. because we had Kokiri Sword unlocks hover boots.
We are
Yeah.
seeing Castle 2 hint, which I do like here.
Will we see Castle 3?
Hey, can I interrupt you guys real
Do they
fast?
have bombs?
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
up,
they do.
Dastar?
Okay.
Hey, so I just want to call something out here, because in addition to this deciding on a semifinalist to play Hollow Logic, tomorrow, hey, Nath, there seems to be a Nightbot command that just triggered in chat. Would you be able to read that for us?
Sure. Yeah. So tomorrow at 1 Eastern, Ramon will be playing someone named Natheirean. I don't know who they are, but we're playing them tomorrow at 1 Eastern for the first match of the semifinals. It's been a great game, so if you are around to watch it, I highly recommend you come watch it.
Thanks, Dastar. I'm pretty sure it was Saria's on Burning Cack. Perhaps that's just confirmation bias, but
It was Saria's on Burning Cack there on Hyrule Castle too. I do like Sean chasing these storms checks. At the very least, it will tell us if Scale is path. But at this point, if Scale is path, it's only for either Lab Dive or for Ruta's Letter location.
all right, Sean about to get strength 2.
Interestingly, we haven't seen, other than maybe Ice Cavern, which I feel like Ice Cavern's gonna have Kohiri's sword, but we haven't seen Nocturne, like in a possible like Nocturne location.
Yeah. Who will be Requiem in Ice for Nocturne out at Colossus. Always.
Possibly. I mean, so if it is in Shadow, we will see Nocturne hinted. We have Wanderer, so anything that is path will be hinted. And the fact that we had a Wanderer unlock as well as a Wanderer, so at least 2 steps not taken off. So either everything is very early and we're missing an unlock hint, which I don't think we are, or both Minuet and actually, no, Minuet is path because we had that as an unlock as well. So Minuet and ZL are definitely path. Which means we might only have the 8. We also haven't seen Din's like hinted anywhere either. Either as an unlock or as anything else. So I feel like those hovers are not for Shadow.
That's why I am saying they are just for Volvagia.
It could be. If you're in the area, it might not be the worst. The problem with that is that if you do hovers Volvagia and you find a key, like I almost feel obligated to like full clear fire at that point.
Yeah.
And that could be a massive like bait of time.
And yeah, chat pointing out we do have 3 hints for Deku Tree to power, so there are going to be 2 items in Deku. One of which we expect to be hover boots.
I could see Din's being the other one then.
And maybe Din's
the whole
is
Shadow
the
kit.
other.
And maybe Ice Cavern is actually just for Nocturne then, and then we're having. I would still put ZL somewhere. Maybe Graveyard has our. No, maybe that has Kokiri's sword. But then we'd have Fire Arrow's path somewhere.
Yeah, I think Graveyard has our bomb bag. I think Dompe Digging has our bomb bag.
I can see that. It's.
Or the other scale. One of those two.
No, Dompe can't have bomb bag because then IGC that forest trial wouldn't be as a 1-step.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So scale then.
Yeah, I feel like whatever Graveyard's path is, it's
There is some weird logic
Um,
actually where it's
yeah.
like
it's gonna be interesting.
it's the hook shot, it's a different character I would get.
Yeah, Rudo's very likely in forest between the minuet to Rudo's and hookshot to bow hints. And trail is foolish, so this is our last non-bottom of the well storm check.
I'm feeling something important here.
Hey,
Mm-hmm. Yes, Dad, sorry, it was frogs. Not often, but it is frogs today.
Sean walking out of river. Maybe he wants to do... Time of day might be okay for Dompe. Yeah, Sean's going to do some graveyard checks.
I feel like that's kind of weird.
Torches, Dompe digging.
Yeah, we are seeing Sponge get caught back on the board, so we are just going to be a hint for power pretty soon.
Yep. So our runners will be even. If you're newer to stream, if you look under Blueseangfh2's Triforce piece indicators, you'll see a timer. That is how we say who has the advantage. If they happen to run out of time and neither of them finds the third piece, we're not expecting that to happen, but it can.
I think I'm actually expecting Dompe to have Rudo's letter here now, and that's going to be our ice axis to get knocked in an ice.
We still need river access, though. That's the big thing. Which is why I think that's what's here in Graveyard. Alright, there's Wisdom and Courage for Sponge. Oof, nothing.
Ooh.
Yes, Minuet leads to Rudo's.
I said Torch to Sunsong, and we haven't seen Sunsong hinted, unless that's what's in
God, it's an
Ice
ice.
Cavern. I don't feel like that is, because then we need Rudo somewhere else.
I mean, Rudo's could be in Deku Tree. We do have double path.
Storm's path. I guess I could follow Storms.
That doesn't match with Minuet, though.
I hope I got those first, otherwise it's gonna be pretty bad.
Alright, so I'm gonna be doing some flame storage here.
This could just be fine.
I mean, GTG also a likely culprit. Okay. So we could have Wanderer fire sources somewhere.
Crater had a scale as well.
Interesting.
Mhm.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Right.
That just doesn't feel path.
It could also just be straight up Shadow Temple.
Well, there had to be a bomb bag that wasn't behind river to get into river. Or another scale. Yeah, Din's... Yeah, Hollow. Blue is ahead on time. As far as who's closer to a piece, I would say Sean, just because he's currently in double path Deku.
Forest power.
Okay, Forest is actually path to power. Probably for Rudos, as we, expect.
Probably what that Wanderer bow is for, which means it might be very deep in forest, sadly.
Yeah.
What if it's Frogs 1? I have to consider that possibility. I think I should go do Frogs 1. I can combo with charge. Frogs 1, like, the storm's path.
Hey, there it is. So Forest has our fire.
I should finish reading his. If it's convoluted fire logic, then the best plan would be to farm money 5 to make it 2-5.
Alright, so Sean's going to clear out Deku, go turn in that letter, and go to Ice, find out whatever the song is there. Isn't Forest behind Fire so far? What? I don't understand. Fire blocks. Yeah, we had strengths to get the hook shot. I'm not concerned about the hammer in this case because we had 2 strengths available to get the hook shot. And we started with Minuet. Our 2 strengths that we have were Lost Woods Bridge Scrub and in Mido's house. Oh, Sean didn't finish Deku, which makes sense. You have your 2 items. Oh no.
Yeah, I think Rudos and Hovers are just like for sure
yeah.
your 2 items there.
Right. You're like, I'm expecting both of these. Yeah, sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. Hopefully Ginger is back. Ginger. Ginger, come back.
So the hammer is Omega Bait and it's Shadow Temple.
We've probably been like talking over Ginger this whole time. I'm so sorry.
I didn't realize I've been like trying to like let them talk a bit, and then I feel like I can hear them barely through your mic, but I just don't hear them at all really.
So I need to find a bow in order to get my letter in Forest Temple. So I can
Yeah, we do have Sponge following right back into Deku, which if they see Rudos and Hovers and Bale immediately, they might save some time back up on this.
Oh, yes. Sorry, everyone. So, Sponge uses a very interesting setup to get audio from his game. And so it's all pulling from one source, meaning that Sponge doesn't actually have clean audio ever.
Oh, chat pointing out that Sponge doesn't have Bow from IGC, it looks like. And if it is Deep Forest like we might think it is, that could be a problem.
Right, and it just kind of depends. If it is Din's in here, I mean, I would say Blue Sean Ginger.
What about now?
Oh,
there you are.
You're back. Welcome back.
Hey, okay, there we go. Yeah, I wasn't just being mardy and silent. I was literally just not even realizing I wasn't coming through. So there we go.
Yeah, Discord doing Discord things.
Yes. Good old Discord.
Good old Discord. So let's talk about things. How often were we talking over you, Ginger?
I didn't even realise. I mean, the star was buzzing me saying, "Are you there? You kind of
Yeah.
being quiet," and I was like, "Well, I'm just letting Nath talk because is an expert, so I'm not like interjecting too much." I didn't realise that nothing was coming through at all, so it makes sense now.
Yeah, so I think it'll be interesting to see what we end up finding in Forest here. Again, very much expecting it to be a fire source.
It feels like it's gonna be Dins here, and then it's gonna be whatchamacallit, Nocturne and Ice. Just
Mm-hmm.
feels. I mean, it could also be Requiem and Ice, but
Yeah, Requiem or... Well, we can almost cross.
yeah, we're still missing Lens, which yeah, at this point, like I think you just go Ice and you let the seed tell you where to go.
Yep. Yeah, Sponge wants to go to Ice, which is why he's turning the letter in. I thought Sean was going to as well, but maybe not.
Yeah, Sean decided to come back into Forest and finish off the checks here.
This could be bigger or bad. If Sponge finds Requiem in Ice and it's actually in Spirit, then we could see something interesting. But with Hovers being Path, it being in Spirit doesn't seem all that likely.
Yep. Yes, Death Star. Sean has been child.
Funny Frogsy living up to it now.
Yep. A few years ago.
I was almost thinking too, it'd be interesting if they went for 3-key Forest here, for the Falling Ceiling Room check.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how well they know the trick. It's not the easiest trick to use, and it's not very commonly like needed in Standard.
We
But,
saw a freaky Forest yesterday. I remember running.
Yeah,
but
and it
died,
can
like,
save a lot of
straight away. So they didn't save any time, but it's still good to see it.
Right. We are not hovers locked in Forest. Olge. Raise your hand if you could play this game when it came out.
Oh, do I have to?
I'm raising my hand!
Oh, could this be here?
Alright, is this it? Is this our Dins?
Hey, there it is.
Hey!
There you go.
Blueshawn turn in Rudos? I don't remember seeing them do it.
So, I am almost positive that I saw Blueshawn go through the portal into Domain, but if not, perhaps we will see a very frustrated Shield Flicker too, in
Yeah.
Ice Cavern.
I definitely haven't tried to skip requirements by using Dins in front of Shadow Portal without having magic. That hasn't
Oh.
happened.
Okay, yep. So Din's very much path with our fire arrows here. In case you had any questions, Forest, Path, Dins. We got there. And now we're in Logic too. We're good. Yeah, if Nocturne's in Ice, and it's in Shadow.
That'd be pretty amusing. I kind of hope it is.
Yeah. All right. Is Mweep moved? Yep.
Okay.
Sean
That
turned in
must
letter.
Everyone's all gone a bit crazy, but the proof is there, at least.
Yeah, it's Nocturne or Requiem, more than likely. We are still a lens away from crossing being in Logic.
Fire arrow entry is not legal in these settings.
No.
I think they were legal for the multi-world tournament,
Yes.
but that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, only multi-world so far. And that's
Yeah.
probably how it will stay, I imagine.
Yeah. And that exception is largely made so that players aren't just sitting around for a bunch of time with nothing to do.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody wants to go and like do the 28-step fire arrow entry, then that's on
Right.
them if they've got nothing else to do. But it's a little bit specialist for general access.
Yes. Din's is path for the bomb bag in Graveyard. Big chest. That is not a song. Swear to God, if we find Mirror Shield here.
Oh, hey, Cola, is it? The star,
Just choose.
the
Just
star
choose.
says in Cola songs.
The gold-plated box of bait.
And yes, Multi-World maintains the ban on doing 1 in 32. Why is Din's more accessible than fire arrows? Din's, in this case, hard lock fire arrows. Our logical bomb bag is the one that we got off graveyard torches, and even though we saw Sean get it using flame storage, that's not in logic. We needed the magic and the Dins to do that. And our bomb bag locks our Kokiri sword, which locks our Rudo's letter in Deku Tree, which is how we would access those fire arrows.
Rocking some very fancy footwork on Sponge's side. This is on my list of things to learn, but
I know the swag hover strats in Ice are very satisfying to watch. Every, I would say, blue moon or so, I attempt one of them. I'm like, should be able to do this, right? No.
I mean,
No
that's it,
chat.
yeah, they look like, oh wow, yeah, that
Yeah,
kind of
that
makes
looks
sense.
easy.
That doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's, I tried to do them and I spent a good 50 minutes one time just trying to do one, and then I was like, I've had enough. I'm just gonna do it the old-fashioned way.
Yep. And yeah, so to get into River as child to play storms for the frogs there, you need either a bomb bag or a scale. And the bomb bag and scale that we had up to that point were behind the hammer that were also in River. But where hammer was in River is either locked behind the chicken as child. Oh, and it's Nocturne.
Oh, it is not.
whoa!
All right. Well, I mean, if the piece is in shadow, I don't think Sponge is gonna find these pieces, the different items that he's gonna need before
No.
Sean.
Yeah, problem is that he skipped the bow that was in IGC,
Mm-hmm.
and that bow is really needed to get that Dins.
Yep. Yeah. So Sponge is going to get the bomb bag here, probably. Oh no, no bow. Never mind.
Nope.
He needs
So,
the
yeah,
bow to get the bomb bag.
Skip that bow looked bad at the time, but it's only now we're finding
Yeah.
out quite how bad it actually is.
Yeah. It's like, Sponge going child, probably going to River. Yeah, ground jumps in ice are a special little
Yeah,
moment
they've
of
got their
hell.
own. They've got their own little quirk of difficulty with the ice mechanics.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Looking for-
Sponge. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sponge is probably going bottom of the well here. Gonna do flame storage, find the bombs, but then follow up on that storm's path.
Yeah. Luckily, the bow is Wanderous. There are more bows that are available in the seed, but at this point, Blueshan is already heading into Shadow, where we
it's gonna be a
expect to
bit of
find
a
the last
bailout.
piece.
Yeah.
And yes, should find it in here.
Yeah.
If it's not here, then it's something with Shadow locking like multiple copies of something that like lead to the same thing.
Yeah. We are still missing a path hint. Yeah, Ela, I would agree. I think that... Okay, bombs.
So we're missing Minuet on there because we have Sari's is behind Forest Temple. That would be our 10.
Where was our magic again?
It was
Midos?
Mido's house. I think Storms is missing from there too, so that means magic is probably Wanderer.
Yeah. Yeah, so magic's probably Wanderer.
Yeah, with the Wanderer in the seed, everything has to be hinted, and since magic was not hinted in Kokiri Forest, it most likely is Wanderer, unless it's like something we're missing.
Yep. But yeah, Sponge's... Oh no. I'm sure that was intended. Surely. Sponge just had a... Like, the opening looked like it was gonna make for a more efficient adult segment, but just kind of gambled on skipping some checks. Especially, honestly, the bow in Ganon's. Very surprising that Sponge ended up skipping that.
Yeah.
But
Sponge
I
also
think...
didn't do River, right? Not getting the hammer early really punished.
Yep. Meanwhile, Sean's kind of just made the right decisions. Maybe could have been a little more efficient here and there, but really, like, just... kind of like I was saying earlier, it's like, oh, you see 10 steps and you're thinking one of, like, 2 or 3 places.
Yeah, no, Blueshan has played this very well. Pathing's been great, the logic has been great.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have any complaints on how they've played the seed.
Yeah, been basically rushing IGC as soon as they could.
Yep.
Very, very handy overall.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. Hollow said it earlier. Like, Blueshan is basically a Triforce Blitz main currently. Really has just been grinding away, and there are certain patterns that you get into that you don't necessarily see in standard, and I think we've seen from my perspective, I think we've seen top 64 runners approach this like any other seed a little more regularly than we see people who play Triforce Blitz as their main. And a lot of that is because they know that their speed and execution can carry them through a lot of scenarios. Their read on logic, really solid. It just so happened in this case, Triforce Blitz strats were the ones that you needed to follow.
Yeah, they require completely different mindsets, and it takes a while to get used to. But like, if you really want to be like super efficient in Triforce Blitz, some of those things are used to in standard. Might be a waste of time in Triforce Blitz.
Yep. And yeah, happy 1 hour.
Yeah, that's good timing.
Thank you to... are the commands in chat already? No. Okay. We'll get those in. Thanks to our runners, Salty Sponge and Blue Sean. Their links are in chat. Give them a follow. Ginger, congrats on finishing your university stuff. Glad to have you back. Nath, thanks for joining us for your first time on comms. Hopefully it hasn't been too painful.
It's been a lot of fun. And thanks for you being here to join me for my first time as well.
Our trackers today, Simon, Blinking Rune, and Baseball. Keeping track of all of the items and the notes so we look vaguely competent. Dastar, I think there's a command for you as well. But Dastar is our restreamer today, and Gutrin is our race monitor.
There's never a command for me, and you can't prove it.
There we go. Thanks, Baseball.
I guess the final question of the seed is, where is this piece going to be? Is it going to be here in the next few rooms, or will it be on Bongo himself?
I think it's on Crusher Room here.
I'm feeling a manager today. I don't know why.
Feeling a little Karen. Where do you think, Ginger?
I think manager. I'm just feeling manager as well.
Well, I mean, that feeling didn't carry him to the semifinals.
Alright, I like that one. Ooh, big chest here.
Hey,
That's gonna be GG's for Sean.
GG's, Sean. And me for getting the right room.
Hey!
Doubters here. So that is Blue Sean advancing to the semifinals.
Yeah, they'll be playing against Hollow for the semis. That will be a very good match as well.
Yeah,
That will be. Yeah, I noticed that Hollow was in chat towards the second half of the race there. Let's see.
yeah, that should be a good matchup. We'll see when they get scheduled, and we will see if our runners will be joining us for an interview. This is one of those where it's kind of hard to come up with questions, though, because, like, Sean just made the right calls.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Pretty
like,
much.
it's like if you go through the spoiler log that will be available, soon,
Imminently.
in a minute, like the playthrough that the game comes up with, probably almost exactly what Sean did.
Yeah, the one play that Sean made that I really liked, and it didn't really pay off, but was dipping into fire to see if that one step could just be on Pierre. Because they basically skipped anything that was hammer locked and just wanted to see where we were locked there. Because both ones ended up being in IGC, but we could have easily had a one step on Pierre if the keys were in the right spots.
But yeah, interesting. What a lot of people were hoping for, which was keeping the Triforce Blitz mains still in the tournament.
Yeah.
And I will point out, Blue Sean did buy a shield in the beginning, and they won, so it's a good decision.
I'm with you there, 100%. That's what won it right there, in my opinion.
Exactly.
So what you're saying is team buy a shield or never buy a shield is the actual semifinal match that we're in for here. When it's
they are playing against Hollow, and we all know how Hollow thinks about shields, so
all right.
Yeah, exactly. It's we're going to settle this once and for all.
It looks like Sponge will be joining us for an interview, so I'm going to pull him in here.
Sweet.
Hey, Sponge. GG's.
Yeah, GG, Sponge.
GG's.
Can't say I'm disappointed if I had no expectations to begin with. So
that's a sensible way of looking at the world. Never too high and never too low.
where was the 10? I assume it's Shadow Temple.
Shadow, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where was
Welcome in, Sean. GG's.
Yo,
Dins was in
GG's.
Forest. On
Oh,
the blue
sorry.
pill.
Where was the bow? That's what I was looking for.
That was in Ganon's castle on
Ganon's.
Shadow
Yeah,
1.
that's Ganon's
Oh,
castle.
so did
that
I
was-
just like bail and
Yeah.
not get it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
God damn it! I gotta stop doing that, man.
Ooh.
Would I have won? Be honest.
No.
No. Okay.
I don't-
Probably not.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so. I
I
think it
don't
would have been
care.
close. It would have been
I think you were
close.
about a half of a
I-
forest temple behind.
I would love to lie to you and say yes, but I mean, honestly, Sean, you just like God routed this. We were talking about how we think that you played this almost exactly how the seed playthrough probably reads. Just made
Yeah.
the right decisions about everything.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that. Everything just kind of worked out.
hmm Yeah, Sean ended up going river early sponge, and so the hammer access, being able to get that hook shot right away in
Hook shot, bomb
the
bags.
place. The
Yes.
place.
That was in the left side
Goron
of
City.
Maze. Yeah.
Yeah, Goron
Yep.
City. Yeah.
I pretty much pegged myself as fucked immediately.
Aw. What happened?
I mean, you go up Goron City for the chance that Link the Goron has like your Kokiri sword, and they're just both in Deku, and
Yep.
instead of doing River, and it just fucks your whole seed. It's just really unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't know if I had like explosives or anything at that point. That's kind of why I went river. I wanted the information.
I think you did find a bomb bag in Lost Woods, but you were heading to Goron
Well,
City without the expectation of having bombs.
Yep.
Well, yeah. So like, I went to I got hammer and river, and then I minueted, and then I got bomb bag in Lost Woods with that hammer, and then I went to Gaunt City.
Yeah, I can pretty much just plot out your whole route without you even saying it. Like it's I think you have a pretty clean direction to go if you just get the hammer immediately.
Yeah.
Like it happens. I can't tell you how many times like my seeds have been bottlenecked by Link the Goron having a fucking bomb bag, and it's just like that. So you know what? I'm okay with this.
Yeah. Like,
so
oh, I was just gonna say like the nerves were getting to me at the end. I don't know what it was. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I was just like, I don't know. My movement didn't feel as clean, and I was just getting super nervous.
yeah, and I mean, I think that's fair. You were facing Sponge. You're like,
Right,
oh no.
I mean,
There were two pieces in Ganon's, like
Mhm.
that's a
it
hard
could literally have
mentality to
been
shake.
frame with you the whole way. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sponge, talk about the checks that you kind of opted to skip. Obviously Shadow 1 was where your bow was. Were you feeling behind when you found those two pieces in Ganon's, or
Yeah,
just
100%. But
yeah.
I was like, well, I'm either fucked already or I'm fucked already. So I guess it doesn't matter. But I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna get out of here because I have whatchamacallit. I was thinking, I'm like, I have two choices. I could just dive into fire and hope that this is all a big hubbub about fire logic, which
Yeah.
I heard Bluseangfh2 did, but I was like, there's no fucking way I'm going in fire with 4 hearts and no bottle, and I'm not farming money for a tunic, so like you can like go ahead, but those are my options basically, and I decided to go check Frogs 1 first because I'm like, this hammer doesn't fit like in anything. Like, why would ice be path if you also need the hammer? Like it, like
Mhm.
what song could be in ice that would help you in Fire Temple that I don't already have? And I'm like, well, it would have to be an item, but what item is left to get a piece in fire besides a
Mhm.
bow, which is Wanderer? So I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna go confirm it.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of did that too because I was like, wait, hammer doesn't make any sense. And then I was child and I went to like Hylia to read hints. So then I had scale and I just went to domain into river and I was like, oh, that's Kokiri sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sabunja, Ella wants to hear if you had fun with the format and whether the SGL pitch lived up to the hype.
I had fun. It's really, really hard coming from standard to Triforce Blitz. Like especially when you do everything in your head like I do, it's really easy to lose track of things. Like I don't know if I even could do this as a full-time thing. Like standard's just so much easier.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about too during like the last parts of Shadow when Blueshawn was heading through. Was that this game mode requires a very different mindset, and you need to be able to kind of flip between the two because what you know in standard might not work very well here, and vice versa.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll just stick to like I don't think I was ever not gonna be a standard main, but you know, I'll keep Triforce Blitz on the side every now and then if I have time.
I mean, you still played very well, and I said you made it far in the tournament, so.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
getting
don't know.
quarterfinals is
I don't
no
know how.
joke considering it's it's not your main.
This
or
is a
anything
very
anymore.
stacked tournament pool. Like, there's a lot of
Yeah.
good names.
There's a lot of experienced Triforce blitzers at this.
And let's be
this
honest,
point.
just where Triforce Blitz has come from, which was nowhere to where it is now, the fact that that people who are so well versed in standard are willing to continue to play it, maybe not in tournaments or whatever, but just like the mode, that's crazy in of itself, I think.
It's a fun alternative to standard.
Absolutely.
I think the time limit's honestly the best part.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Trust me, we've seen some of the trash too. We agree.
I think so.
Yep.
But yeah, GG's Wushan. I hope that you win the tournament, I guess. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, which brings me to my next question. You're going to be facing off against Hollow Logic. How do you feel?
I honestly don't know how to feel. I'm gonna be honest.
Have you watched Hollow
I-
a lot?
I have watched Hollow a lot. I think I've done like some like public Triforce splits like races with them. I don't know like our like statistics or like the playstyle that much, but
Well, the hint for you is he's a dirty memer and he hates Child Goron City.
okay, got it.
Wow.
Angry.
A rush Goron City.
No, I
as child
literally
gun.
just had this conversation with him like 3 days ago. It's fine. He was here earlier, at least, looking forward to seeing who he had to play and all that. So I don't know if he's still around, but
He also
Yeah,
refused to buy a shield, so your decision to buy a shield in the beginning, which obviously was the main factor of why you came out on top today, will
Yeah,
continue well against
clearly.
Hollow.
Clearly.
I can't understand not buying a shield. It literally takes less than 2 minutes from the start of the seed.
Exactly.
I will argue with that. I'll argue with you about that one.
Alright, well,
I don't think you realize just how big 2 minutes is.
All right, well, I'm actually going to jump in here and not get into
That's
the actual
1%.
argument between sides on this one because I want to wrap this up. I'm sure we all need to get going and do other
Some other
things.
time.
Sponge, thank you very much for coming to join us. It's been a pleasure watching you. And Sean, obviously, same as for you, and we're going to see how you do against Hollow. I'll get your scheduling thread up shortly. In the meantime, we do have another race tomorrow for the start of the semifinals between Ramond and some person called Natheirean. I don't know if we've ever seen them here.
I've heard that they're supposed to be good.
They're
but I
weird.
mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've been kicking ass and taking names, so we'll see how that goes. But that's tomorrow. I believe they have game 2 for a week later. But other than that, yeah, that's all we have. We're running down to the end of it. I know that Hell Knight was starting to plan some other ideas going on, so we might hear about those